Hi everybody, my name is Nicole and today I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation over providing effective feedback to learners. So raise your hands, how many of you guys think effective feedback to learners is important? Okay, good, I see a lot of hands. So now we're going to get into the PowerPoint. So what exactly is effective feedback? Effective feedback is a process in which learners make sense of information about their performance and use it to enhance the quality of their work or learning strategies. Powerful influence on learning and achievement. Next, we're going to go over the importance of effective feedback. So there are many different parts to this. Effective feedback improves a learner's confidence. It improves a learner's self-awareness. It also has enthusiasm for learning. It enhances learning, and it improves assessment performance. Next, we're going to go over how can feedback be communicated. So there are three different main ways. So first is going to be verbal, and this can include speaking or listening. Second is going to be nonverbal, which can mean gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact and proximity. Eye contact is the most important when communicating with others. And next, we're going to go over written communication, which can be written words or symbols. All right, next we are going to go over the different elements of effective feedback. There are 5 very important ones that I listed. So first, we're going to go over the specific and direct, then concise and clear, then culturally sensitive, then meaningful, and then well-timed. So it is important to make sure you are direct and clear when coming to this so that the learners know exactly where to fix their mistakes. If you sometimes write too much, you can confuse them, so it is important to be clear and concise. Next is specific and direct. Feedback should be descriptive and not general. Feedback should be communicated by the educator or teacher and not from another source. So it's important to get those reliable sources from the teacher or educator because online there could be a lot of websites that aren't approved. And then next, we're going to go over the feedback that can provide templates and examples to help learners improve. So I always feel like templates help me when I kind of need help knowing where to start. So it gets me on the right track of where I want to branch out my ideas to. Next, concise and clear. So this is feedback should be goal-oriented. Learners need to understand how they are performing in relation to the goal. It's all about meeting the goal. And feedback should be directed towards changeable performance and behaviors. Also, feedback should be realistic and make sense to the learner. So it is important for it to be real and not made up because this can lead to confusion. Next, we're going to go over culturally sensitive. So culturally sensitive is creating a welcoming environment. It's important for learners and effective feedback. It's important to make them feel welcome and to know that they want to be there. Feedback should be personalized and positive. Positive is the key word because if you're not positive about things and if you don't have a monotone voice, students and people are definitely going to start drifting off and start daydreaming about other things. Next, the language needs to be clear and concise. And then we have meaningful. Feedback needs to be presented carefully so learners know that the feedback is meant to help them reach their personal goals. It is important to know why we are learning about what we are learning. Next, educators do not want to create a competitive environment, and it is important to be very welcoming. If people tend to be competitive, it tends to make people drift apart and not want to be associated or involved, especially if they have a good heart. And educators want students to learn what is being presented in the best and easiest way possible. Elements of effective communication when giving feedback is the next slide. So this is how verbal and nonverbal communication are in agreement. Communication needs to be culturally sensitive. It needs to make sure that it is fitting what their culture is suited for. It needs to remember to be descriptive and specific so you know what's going on. Remember to check a learner's understanding of what feedback is being communicated, both progress and areas in need of improvement. Next, we're going to discuss the importance of effective communication when giving feedback. So it is important to know the main question. Why is effective communication important when giving feedback in the classroom? So I would just like to go into detail about knowing feedback. Knowing what you did wrong is very important so you can improve on that. You can work on it. Progress, you will see it over time. As much as you practice, it'll definitely show. And listening skills when giving feedback. This is an important role when a learner is receiving feedback. Listening skills. Learners need to be attending and understanding what is being communicating to them. They need to have all focus on the subject they are learning. If they have distractions, they may start to tend to go off of the subject. Positive and trusting relationship need to be formed between educators and learners. It's very important to be close with people that are in your major and going over the same topics. You could work and brainstorm off ideas with them. Remember, signs such as nodding of one's head and thumbs up demonstrate that one is listening and engaging in the conversation. So these gestures are very important just to show that one is engaged and wanting to improve and learn in the subject. And then we're also going to make sure we discuss the importance of listening when giving feedback. Why is listening important when giving feedback in the classroom? Now, this is a main thing to know because, like I was saying, if you don't listen in, you're going to not really know what's going on, and it's important to know every detail in order to progress and move forward. So just make sure all eyes are on the person speaking, and you'll be able to follow along. And we have a statement of educators need to remember that giving effective feedback to their learners will improve their overall performance. By giving feedback separate and direct, concise and clear, culturally sensitive, meaningful, and well-timed, educators will find success with their learners. So just remembering these key facts of just being the best you could be, trying the most professional you can be, the hard work will definitely pay off. And then now I listed my references. So I just wanted to say thank you all today for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope you learned from it, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.